Simon Miller, Bored A-hole here. It's time for some kitchen adventures with Simon in the world's smallest kitchen. I'm hoping to move in the next few months and then we won't have to cram everything in here. I mean, it's flipping hard for me to even show what I'm doing. Don't even worry about it. But today, I wanted to show you how to make Simon Miller's anabolic protein scones, call it whatever the hell you want. Because of course, recently I told you I was very privileged and very happy to be included in Greg Doucette's Power 13 cookbook. And this is one of my recipes in there. So I thought I'd show it to you. And it also allows me to do a cheap plug. There's a link in the description below. Click it, use the code Simon15. You get 15% off. But if you want to be British like me, we love scones, and we always argue about, oh, does the jam go on first or does the cream cheese go on first? Cream cheese? Whatever it's called, clotted cream. Which one goes on first? I'm like, who even cares? Just put it on the damn scone and put it in my mouth. Don't know why I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. But we will do what we can. We've got a camera here, we've got a camera down there to try and make this a little bit better. And we begin with this wonderful substance. It's called self-raising flour. Now, I don't want to pretend like they're super duper healthy. They're just far healthier for you if you want a dessert and you feel like you have those cravings and you want to ensure that it's got a higher protein content. It stands to reason. So it's 150 grams of this. I'll make sure it comes up on the screen as well, because I get it. Some people don't listen to YouTube videos. I need to like arc my body like I'm a wrestler. They never watch television properly. But again, I have the smallest kitchen in the world. So small, in fact, that somebody once came around and said, when you cook, you really should open your window. Because it's like borderline in terms of, I don't know, what's right for a kitchen. I don't know. I think this makes 8 scones, but it can really make as many as you want because you decide how much is going to be there. So that's 150 grams of self-raising flour. Then we move on to 30 grams of coconut flour, which is quite a good flour, to be honest. I mean, it's got carbs and fats in it, but it also has a lot of protein compared to most flours. And we all love protein. We're obsessed with this. So we do 30 grams of this. Smells of coconut. You'll be amazed to hear. Imagine it didn't. Imagine it smelled of like lemon. You'd be terrified. Go on, 1 gram. Kapow, there it is. Not true, it's not there. What are you doing, coconut flour? How thin are you? Oh, I went to 31. We then move on to the protein. Now, really, you can put in as much as you flipping want. Just smash that wrong camera there. Sorry, people watching on the old Miller cooking cam. Let's put him over here. You can put as many you want in. I go for 60 grams, because 60 grams of this is basically like 50 grams of protein, and to me, that feels like a good way to do it. So just, but you know, you can change the macros to whatever works for you. Oh gosh, that's way too much. Oh no, all right, so it's gonna go 70 grams today. I've never done it with 70 grams. This has gotta be a bad idea. You don't change the recipe when you're live on camera. Who do I think I am? Gordon Ramsay? Absolutely not, the guy has really good hair. And then sweetener is the other thing too. Now for sweetener, I always say around about 35 grams, usually is quite good, but again, it depends how sweet you like it. Today, just for some fun, it's very hot today, I've lost my mind. Let's put in 50 grams, just to see if we like it or not. And again, when it comes to sweetener, you've got to choose the one you like. I think I've got stevia here. Is it stevia? Yeah, granulated sweetener stevia. So I say that I'm not going to put in 50 grams because that is so much. It's ridiculous. That's just an obscene amount. So we'll just get it to 30 and we shall leave it there. Fantastic. Then all you want to do is you want to take a spoon, any spoon you want, and just kind of, you don't have to fold it in, but just mix all the dry ingredients until it looks like it's not a bunch of different colours and a bunch of different powder that you just happen to throw in a bowl because you're a bit weird, right? So you just want to mix it around until it looks like it's one. So imagine you had a family and you decided, I want to have a family, I just want it to be me, and you kind of ate them. That's essentially what you're trying to do here. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've just spilled it everywhere as well. I should be fired. I don't know how you can be fired from YouTube. I should be fine. Then we move on to the best substance ever, which is just 0% Greek yogurt. You can use it as a substitution for so many things. I'm sure you've heard it 100 times. I actually forgot what we're doing now. So we gradually add in the 0% Greek yogurt and stir it with a spoon until your mixture forms a rough dough. That sounds pretty good. So it's 210 grams of this. Essentially, I mean, you can just throw it in. I've never actually just thrown it in there. But look, we're having a good day. Usually what you want to do is you want to add it bit stir, bit stir, bit stir. But that sounds boring on a day like today when I'm really hot and making a dumb video. I keep ruining the Miller cooker cam. I'm sorry. It's because of the way that I'm stood trying to get everything done. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. It will start to stick. So at some point you are going to have to use your hands. But at first, just start pushing it together until when you can see and you can feel that it feels like a dough. And to be honest, at that point, you're almost already done. Always make sure you've washed your hands as well. Don't be disgusting. See? Look at that. Look at that Miller can down there. You have to sort of work it a little bit, but that's a proper dough. It kind of feels like you just want to eat it like that, which you probably could do. I do not advise that you do. Don't forget to, if it's too wet, you're gonna have to add more powder. But if it's too dry, you can just add more Greek yogurt. Like when you're doing this stuff, it's basically one big experimental job. It sounds a little bit dodgy, but it is. But when you have a ball like that, I'll try and hold it up there so you can see it. So it's a little bit like an alien head. You are good to go. So when you're good, get a baking tray, Alabama. I forgot to buy parchment paper because I just don't use it that much. So just buy some 1 calorie spray oil. The only reason I'm using so much is because it's almost dead, so to try and get it out is hard. But it will do. Keep an eye on it in the oven. You're much better with parchment paper because this could stick a little bit. But I mean, it will do. I mean, that is dead. But you know, I don't like to waste things here on Simon Miller's cooking thing. And then take your big alien head ball of dough, just slam it right down there, and you can form it however you want. You can turn it into circles. You can get a knife and do it like that. Today, I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep this proper ridiculous. I'm just gonna make little balls like that. Simple as. And I'll do as many as I can out of this. Again, usually you want to make about 8, but if you want to make 10, I'm not going to come around your house and tell you otherwise. That would be really weird. A little difference I am going to do today because I'm going to have a cheat meal at some point over the weekend. So I thought, oh, this can be my dessert. So I have some raisins and some chocolate chips that I'm going to put in there. Now, I probably should have thrown it into the dough itself, but I forgot because I'm not very good at this. But it's not really the end of the world because once you've made these balls, and try and make the balls even too, just because they'll, form and rise and bake in the oven at the same time. Obviously, if a bigger ball, it would take longer, and a smaller ball, vice versa. But all I'm going to do to make up for it, which goes to show again that there's no rules, is I'm just going to stick them in. I'm literally just going to push them right into to these balls itself. They're not even at all. But once again, do I care? No. Is anyone about to come around my house and tell me off? No, Mum, because I moved out. My mum watches this. That was unnecessary. I love her very much. She's very kind. So, get your raisins, which I can't undo because I'm a mess of a human. And because my hands, they have so much, they have the remain of so much dough on them. It's just slipping off. Either that or I'm an absolute weakling. And then, yeah, I'm going to have raisins and some chocolate chips. Not going to be everybody's taste. My girlfriend would think that's disgusting. I'm just going to push them in. I mean, obviously, I'm going to rush it a little bit. Usually, you'd want to sort of make them more even around everything. But do you have to? Once again, no, you do not. And I'll make sure the macros are up on the screen as well. And everything else that I've said. And again, just remember, there's not a lot of fat in there, but there's certainly some carbs. But the protein content is pretty decent, and it's far better than having a scone or a scone, whichever word we're going for. So that's always what you got to tell yourself, and what you got to remind yourself is this isn't something you can have every single day. I mean, there's probably things that you could do in order to drop the fat content, but it's just a nice way of making you. Well, if you feel like you need a cheat meal, you can have a cheat meal. And what I'll do is actually I'll turn these over now. So on one side I'll have raisins, and on the other side I'll have chocolate chips. Ha ha! Yeah, but you can sort of, have a nice cheap meal without going absolutely crazy, which I completely understand, is that we sometimes want to do when we're trying to keep on these diets. Sometimes your brain just goes nuts because brains actually hate us and they're desperate, desperate for sugar at all times. And you're like, honestly, brain, why do you do this to me? And I think what's mostly going to happen here is these chocolate chips are going to melt. So that's another lesson for Simon's Kitchen. Absolutely make sure you put it in the dough beforehand. But hopefully seeing me make an absolute mess of this will show you that at the end of the day, you can still get something pretty good out of it. I mean, this really is budget now. This is budget. But that is okay. Maybe. We'll find out. So there, bam, hold them up that way. Bring them over to you up here. Difficult to show on there, but I'll do my best. You want the oven about 375 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 190 degrees Celsius. And just throw them in. And, oh gosh, 10 to 15 minutes is usually pretty good. Hey Google, set the alarm for 10 minutes. Check them after 10. Keep checking them because you don't want to burn them essentially. They can burn quite fast sometimes. So I've stuck them in for 10 and I'll see you in 10. So we've learned a valuable lesson today. Never muck around with your recipe. So when you do actually come to make the scones, what I would do is I'd flatten out the dough as much as possible and then divide them up into 8 triangles. They cook far better, because what I have created, they're still nice, I know. I did this once before. I've created these terrifying balls, as you can see there, and I'll try and show up to here, but usually when I do that, they fall over. It's not exactly what I was going for, however, to prove to you that they're still friggin' delicious. I mean, they're still quite hot at the moment, but I got to prove to you, otherwise you think, yeah, Simon, you're not going to eat that. I'll prove it to you. My word, it's hot. It's like lava, but honestly, I love it. I won't talk my mouth for, it's disgusting. But genuinely, really, really quite sweet. Great texture, I'm a big texture man. I just like how things feel in my mouth. That sounds weird. I'll probably smash all of them over the weekend. Shouldn't really do that, especially because I can't train at the moment because I'm still getting over my surgery. I really, really, really enjoy them. I promise you will enjoy them too. And if you don't, well, never mind. I'm an idiot. I forgot the best bit. Obviously, when you get them all ready, use Warden's jam, which is the best thing ever, like per serving is only 7 calories, and put some Greek yogurt on it as well, because that way you're using the jam and the Greek yogurt serves as your clotted cream, so you lose a bunch of fat there, because this is really good for you. I got mine from Pit Stop Nutrition. They've been helping me out recently. Check them out. I'll put a link in the description below as well. But the Greek yogurt, honestly, you can even put some more protein powder, mix it up to make it sound nicer. And then you also got your jam and cream, and everything's going to be happy. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment below in case you have eaten them. I'd love to know your thoughts. What else do you do? Click the bell ding ding so you know when other videos are going live. Click the other video on the screen right now. I'd appreciate it. You can get the cookbook. Again, look in the description. All the information is there. Come say hello on SimonMiller316 on Instagram and Twitter. Patreon.com/SimonMiller316 if you want to support me financially. I'll send you a reward back to say thank you very much. SimonMiller.BigCartel.com. Enjoy your Saturdays. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your treats. And I'll see you on the next one.